2 years is a long time, and a lot can change. I get used to how things work or do not work in India. America, some days after coming back, seems almost like a foreign country to me. I became addicted to the chaos, the lack of regulation and standardization, the spicy food, the Bollywood films, and even the steamy monsoon weather. Now when the temperature dips below 75, I reach for a sweater. Food without curry is almost inedible to me, and films without choreographed song and dance routines seem to lack something. Also, our uniquely American habit of following traffic rules seems confining to me after living in India. I have an urge to drive on the wrong side of the road. If there are any candidates here tonight, I guess I'm wrong again. There's no candidates here tonight. But if there were, I'd say that there's only one thing wrong with an ICWA fellowship, and that's that it ends. I started out with my fellowship with the idea that it took courage to go to a foreign country for 2 years, and I learned that leaving was the easy part. It was coming home that took courage. My job tonight is quite difficult. Some fellows return from places beyond the average person's imagining, places like Romania or Uganda. But tonight I'm going to try to talk about a place that is now so ubiquitous in the media that some of you may even be tired of hearing about it: India. Interest in India has reached a fever pitch, with the widespread idea that the 21st century will be the Asian century. Repeated economic forecasts see India as the soon-to-be crowned largest economy in the world, or perhaps second largest economy in the world. Add to that cultural fascination with India, ranging from yoga to Ayurvedic medicine to Hindustani music, and it's safe to say that few Americans have not given India some thought over the last 10 years. When I returned, I made sure to go to the bookstore and I browsed some of the recent releases, some of the new books about India. I did not recognize the India that I saw. Many of the books you'll find in the bookstore about India, like Mira Kamdar's Planet India, depict a country that is full of CEOs and software developers, Bombay film stars and entrepreneurs. And on the other extreme, books like Gregory David Roberts' Shantaram. And if you haven't heard of the book Shantaram, you will soon. It's been made into a movie with Johnny Depp, and it will come out sometime this year. Books like Shantaram depict a place that is populated by gangsters, thugs, and blissed-out holy men, a landscape of slums and shanty towns. But the India that I saw, the India that I lived in, and the India that most Indians live in is neither of these places. Most Indians don't live in either of these cultural or economic extremes. And to really see how average Indians live their lives, you need time to see beyond the obvious, which is what the ICWA Fellowship allowed me to do. When I was there, and since I've been given a map, I'll point it out, I lived in a city called Lucknow, which is up here near Nepal. Over here. In a state called Uttar Pradesh, which is one of the most overpopulated, populous, and poor states in India. People ask me why I went there, and the reason is that it is the capital of Uttar Pradesh. And one of my goals with my fellowship was to understand Indian politics. I failed to fulfill that goal. I failed in that endeavor. There's still a lot about Indian politics that makes no sense to me. But I did come back with one important insight. I came to the conclusion you cannot understand Indian political life on a national scale or even on the state level without understanding